All right. Thanks for that great introduction, Katie. Yeah. Thank you all for coming this afternoon. We look forward to giving our presentation and program and having a fun conversation about engaging communities with nature. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves. We're the Chicago Green Ambassadors at the Field Museum, and here are the Green Ambassadors
You
themselves.
should close up the slides.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them on right now. But go ahead, introduce yourselves. Well, let me get the slides up. Right. Hi, everyone. Give me a second. Share. I hope everyone sees that. We're good? All right. We're gonna go ahead way again. Welcome to our presentation, community connecting communities to nature with the Chicago Green Ambassadors from the Field Museum. Here we are. I'm Viteri, and I'll go ahead and pass it on.
Hey everyone, I'm Amira. I go to Lane Tech and I live in around the O'Hare Cumberland neighborhood, and I'm a junior. I use any pronouns.
Hey everybody, my name is Chance. I go to Kenwood Academy High School and my neighborhood is Hyde Park.
Hey everybody, I'm Erica. I'm a junior at Jones College Prep and I live in Bridgeport.
Perfect. All right. So here's what you have to look forward to today. Again, my name is Viteri. I'm an urban conservation educator at the Field Museum, and I have the great pleasure of working with these amazing young people through the Chicago Green Ambassadors program. And today you hear a bit about what our program is. We're going to talk about our approach to working on projects, what we've done in the past, and what we hope to be doing in the future. Here's what you can expect from today's presentation. We'll go through these topics, and then we should have about 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A and small discussion at the end. So I'll go ahead and start off first by talking about what is the Chicago Green Ambassadors. Well, as you can see here, it's a paid internship experience with the Keller Science Action Center within the Field Museum. And we work with high school students from all over the city to engage and learn about local natural areas and different environmental issues and assets. We take an asset-based approach to learn about different environmental and social issues throughout the city. And working alongside museum scientists and community partners, we get to explore different topics and figure out ways to address the community issues or assets that the interns are interested in. And it's probably not as interesting to hear me just explain it and go through it all. So I'm gonna go ahead and let our colleagues here explain for themselves. They'll take turns taking on the different things in our presentation. We'll start with Chance Stegall, who was a part of our hybrid model over the summer, this past summer, and continues working with us now. So I'll go ahead and stop talking so that she can share her experience. Why don't you go ahead and take it away, Chance?
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Chance. So I'm going to let the pictures kind of speak for themselves, but I really did enjoy myself over the summer. The first week it was hard to get into it, but as time went by, we all felt like one big family at the end of the summer. I wish the program was longer, but we managed to do the days on Zoom and the days in person, and it honestly worked out so well. So it was a good mixture. This was my first time actually interacting with other people during COVID since school had been out since March. So this is when we were at Bobian Woods, a forest preserve located on the south side of Chicago. We would walk through the preserve. We observed species of plants and even went to the lake to see what species of life we could find in the water. That's me in the right picture, seeing what I could collect in the water to observe. And of course, I put it back. Over the summer, so this is a picture of us when we went to Golden Gate Park and we met with Miss Dolores Lucas. It was a really fun experience. So over the summer, we were helping the Field Museum collect community input to help information to see what people in the community would like in a potential gathering space created in Bobian Woods. We met with various community leaders and just learned about like direct input from them. So this is when we went to the Burning Wildlife Corridor. The picture on the left is when we went to the Burning Wildlife Corridor, and the picture on the right is when we went kayaking. So we just visited gathering spaces along Burning Wildlife Corridor to see how these type of projects were created in the past with a similar process of community input. So this is the project products that we did manage to create. On the picture to the left, this is the community asset map that we created for Outgale Gardens, Golden Gate, and Riverside Village. So to learn more about the communities, we created an asset map for the 3 surrounding communities that I just listed. The asset map included the assets in communities like schools, libraries, bus stops, churches, and more. And as you can see in the picture, each asset is color-coded with the symbol to represent what it is. And this is kind of the same. So that's the survey that we did create to collect the input to see what people would like in a potential gathering space, like restrooms, art, just all types of stuff that people would like to see. And if they wanted to be updated on information that was going to be released about the potential gathering space. And yeah. We received helpful feedback from the people, and the Field Museum is still using these tools to collect input, and the project is still currently in progress. And these are just some of my favorite experiences. We went kayaking on my birthday, so it was like really, really fun. And then like most of the activities that we did, we social distance, but we also received the information that we needed, learned, and also had fun. So it was just a really fun experience.
Yeah, that was just a brief summary of our summer project. We had a bigger presentation that we did in the summer for our colleagues and community partners at the Field Museum. And we have that recorded on the Field Museum website if you want to have anyone have interest in seeing that longer progress of the project we did over the summer. But we wanted to continue providing opportunities and programming for students in the city of Chicago throughout the school year, even after the summer. And even though we couldn't do a hybrid program like we did over the summer, we maintained a virtual presence. And so we're working with new and past Green Ambassadors to help with this new model. So again, partnering with the Chicago Public Schools, we're facilitating a model of our program with new and returning members. It's same thing, exploring environmental issues and assets throughout the city. And this time, although we're not able to meet in person with community members or go to the sites that we want to go, at least right now, for right now at least, we do exploration through articles, videos, remote guest speakers, and remote activities and group icebreakers so that we can build community, get to know each other better, and figure out what we want to work on for this school year. All the participants in the end are going to be working on independent nature engagement projects. And then to talk more about that model and what we're currently doing right now throughout the school year, I'll pass it on to Erica.
Hello, guys. I'm Erica. So one of our main topics of discussion recently was about how trees and tree planting affected communities. We started off the discussion by playing with an interactive map that recorded tree canopy percentage and impervious surface area percentage in different Chicago's neighborhoods. After discussing why certain areas might show these numbers and what the possible effects might be, we started engaging with the question of how the number of trees might affect a neighborhood. This brought us to an Atlas Obscura article that made really bold claims such as planting more trees reduces and deters crime, as well as make neighborhoods happier. This article then spawned a whole conversation about intention and purpose and how eventually it led to debate on whether these claims are true. There are points being made about how increased tree planting is likely a band-aid to obscure other more deep-seated societal issues, how tree planting might lead to gentrification or other housing issues, and that the article wasn't trustworthy because Atlas Obscura was a travel agency type website that was interested in attracting customers. On the other hand, there was also a point that using the legitimacy that these kinds of articles gave, local initiatives could apply for grants to plant trees, thereby giving in-need community members a temporary job. This could indirectly reduce need-based crimes. And then this connects the next topic of environmental justice, and I'll lead it off to Amira.
Yeah, so we also recently explored a topic of environmental justice in recent events surrounding the move of an iron scrapping company in the East Side community. So it's moving from the north to the west-east. And we learned about the organizing of community members to stop the permit from allowing the metal scrappers to set up shop. And we learned about the pollution that can affect the community and the local activists participating in a hunger strike right now and how people can get involved. Now here's a chance to talk about some of our projects that we have been working on.
Okay. So this is one of the first projects that we did to explore our local nature. These are pictures that I did, Amira and Erica collected, like as just a way to show like how we engage with nature. It was nice to see all the different ways that we interact with nature and how it is all around us. We will discuss a little bit about the photos to give you guys an idea of how we interacted and engaged with the nature. So the first picture to the left is pictures, I'm sorry, leaves that were outside in front, like, because I live in a apartment building. So like it was just like a bunch of leaves downstairs and everything like that. And it just reminded me of how over the years, me and my mom and my brother, we would go like leaf picking or like plant picking and would just like pick out pretty leaves, and like whoever collected the most and like the prettiest ones would get some type of like little incentive, whatever that was, like not having to do chores or something, just something. It was like really fun and like a way that we connected with nature over the years. So I will pass it on to Amira.
Yeah, so this is my cactus actually, and I have it right here. And not too long ago, I actually Google Photos gives you like old photos of like this photo was taken 1 year ago, and I saw the photo of this cactus, and it was so tiny and small, and I was like, oh my god, how is that even the same cactus? And you don't notice how much it grows, but I've been taking care of it for so long, and it has grown a lot. And I'll pass it to Erica.
Cool. So our January project was a species research profile, and it included a brief research project to make profiles on any 3 of the animals found in Chicago. And then the pictures are examples of what some of our members did. There were a lot of different approaches taken to the formatting and also what species to research. And it was really interesting because it really allowed people to look into what wild life is around the Chicagoland area. And then I'll let Amira talk about the other part of this project.
Yeah, so the other part of the project is Inaturalist, and we're working to collect data on iNaturalists in our neighborhoods. So Inaturalist is like a app where you can make observations, and we want to make observations in like low observation areas and show that there's nature all over the city of Chicago. We created a group project on the like iNaturalist website, and we can see how many observations we make by the end of the program. And yeah, there are some of the observations, and one of our members that has the most observations and the most species is Isabel, who's been taking photos for quite a while. Okay, so moving on to our COVID challenges. Sadly, since we're still in the horrible COVID times, we meet virtually twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and have workshops planned so we can go out while still social distancing, of course. And we're mainly remote right now because of COVID, and that has affected the way we do things in our daily lives. Some of our challenges are being on the screen all day, especially since Tuesdays and Thursdays are like right after school, and it's very tiring for all of us. But I'm glad we're doing this because it's a way to continue interacting with nature and topics related to it.
So the purpose of our project, first and foremost, is to connect people to nature. Especially in an urban setting, a lot of people don't have a lot of access to outdoor spaces and greenery. So the primary purpose is to increase our members' engagement with nature. A part of that is discussing local community environmental activism efforts. And then in addition to this, CGA also encourages critical thinking when it comes to conservation efforts and teaches how to spot and acknowledge bias or ulterior motives in environmental journalism, which leads to our next slide. So something we want all of our members to accomplish by the end of the program is to complete a project. The project can inform, engage, express, or persuade, but it serves as a concrete visualization of what we have learned during the program. And then one possible example is a social media campaign to inform and engage even more people about Chicago-based environmental issues. And then on the next slide, there are some more project examples. So field guides are excellent ways to inform others about specific Chicago wildlife, and similarly, so are scientific guides or research papers. All these projects will engage both the author and potential audiences.
Ian.
I keep forgetting to unmute myself. They constantly remind me during our sessions when I'm muted. So I guess it's a thing that we have. But yeah, thank you. You heard it directly from our participants, how they are going through our program and working on their projects right now. We're barely in our 3rd month, and we hope to be continuing this project all the way until the end of the school year at June. And hopefully by then they'll have an idea of what they want to work on, whether, like they said, it's social media campaigns, scientific journals, working on field guides for their communities, organizing hikes and being able to identify different species of plants and animals to their friends and families. And we hope to be doing that by the end of June. We're in the middle of our program session currently. And now we can go ahead and take some questions from the audience and just have a conversation about what our program is, about our participants' experience, what they're going through, and whatever else may be. I'm not sure if I can.
Should I read the question? I see them in the chat. Okay,
Perfect.
so sure. Yeah, from Viteri.
Go ahead, Amira.
How are participants in the program selected, and must they live in Chicago?
I guess that's for me. For the logistical purposes, yes. Yeah, this is Chicago Green Ambassadors. We do have focused target areas. There's 2 ways that we recruit. We recruit from different community partner organizations that we worked with in the past and currently still. And a lot of them include organizations from Little Village, Pilsen, Chinatown, Bronzeville, all over the Calumet region. Partners like El Vejo, Enlace, the Chinese American Museum, organizations in Bronzeville. So we recruit from our partners from the organizations, but we also partner with Chicago Public Schools directly through a program called Calumet is My Backyard. And then there, normally, we would be taking students to their local natural areas and doing hands-on conservation work. But we recruit directly from those schools. Right now, we work with 11 different schools in the Calumet region, specifically, with the various teachers from all those schools. And then, we'll send all our recruitment materials to them, along with different counselors that we have. So that's where we recruit from community partners and from Chicago Public Schools.
And a similar question, kind of like a segue, James McGee asked if, did we work with anyone from institutes of higher education?
Like directly with universities, not as of yet. I mean, we do work with many of the scientists in the building who sometimes are professors at different universities, especially Chicago State University. They're close partners with us, and they've helped us with career and opportunity fairs in the past. Right now, we're in our 3rd month, so we still have plenty of time to meet with new and different partners, and we do have plans to meet with different professors who are also scientists at the museum.
So Marcy Cross asks if the species profiles are available publicly. And I actually know this because from one of my presentations, I used the species profiles. And as far as I know, I think you can just Google them, and they're probably somewhere on like the Field Museum's website. But if anyone has like a direct link, you can also link that.
Yeah, right now we haven't uploaded them to the website just yet. I do have them collected and stored on our Google Drive. And once we polish them off a little bit, we'll figure out where exactly we're going to publish it.
Oh, I think I meant like the guides. Oh, sorry, I think I answered the wrong question then. The species guides that previous groups have collected are on the Field Museum website, but the profiles are not because we just recently finished them. So Evan Craig says, it seems that the remedy for gentrification is affordable housing, not environmental degradation. Oh, I think that's when it comes to commenting on like the articles you read. Yeah, and that's something we talked about a lot actually, gentrification and how that impacted different neighborhoods. If anyone wants to like comment on that.
I've seen another question from Matthew. It said, was there some part of your program that you were not interested in at first, but ended up being really fun or interesting? I would say yes, because before I joined the program, I was just like, I'm not really like an environmental type person, so it was just like me being in nature. How is this gonna work? Like, I didn't really like being in the sun, bugs, just nature, period. So doing the program over the summer really like opened up my eyes and like actually made me like it. It was something that I found pride in doing, and it was actually fun. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't bad at all. Once we got to like connect with each other and like did more things, it became fun actually.
I would
So I
Oh, I would
sorry.
just agree with Chance. I don't think there was anything about the project like inherently that I was uninterested in because I was in the Chicago Botanical Gardens program when I was in middle school, so I like roughly knew what I was getting myself into, but I wasn't too sure about the online model. But once you connected with people online, it wasn't really that much different from in person. I think it's an interesting model to work with.
I'm seeing another question about. So I am not a lady, but are we considering any careers in science and natural, those types of things? I am definitely more interested in the like community side of it rather than like the more biological science side. But I'll let Erica and Chance also speak for themselves.
I would be more interested in like the plant side. I'm a very plant like interested person. I was considering a botanist, but now I'm kind of like open to maybe like archaeologist or maybe marine biology as well. I'll let Chance answer as well.
Honestly, it's so many. We met with so many people who did so many different things that seemed cool over the summer. So I don't know if I had to pick something, it would either be anthropology, like in this type of area, or probably like in environmental sciences. Either one of those, but it's a lot of cool options, so it's honestly hard to say.
Okay, and the last question is Ian, your tapestry and your background.
So these I pulled out of my garage. My father's Ecuadorian, my mother's Mexican, and I've been born and raised in a little village all my life. This is my hosting wall. Whenever I have to do big presentations like this, I kind of set it up. I'm not sure where it came from. I mean, it came from Ecuador. I don't know exactly the history of it. I found it in our basement when I was cleaning out my parents' stuff, and this was there. And I loved it, and I put it up. So I'm sure it's something that my dad acquired in Ecuador back in the day. I saw about my decorations as well. I created those. I printed out some big butterfly images on some heavy stock paper, cut them out. I stuck a little piece of foam on the back of it, glued it to the wall so that it has that 3D effect and creates a little cast shadow. And then I just have various paintings that I've collected on my travels from Colombia, Detroit, Atlanta, just different places I go. This is my hosting wall. So thank you for appreciating that. I guess I like that. I'm an artist myself, but that was an interesting question. Yeah, my hosting wall. Any other questions for us, for the Green Ambassadors, or for our program? I really enjoy working with all of our students. These are just 3 of our Green Ambassadors right now. We have 16 others that we work with, or 15 others. And yeah, it's been really interesting to see their growth and interest for the nature and environment, or some people who've had nature and just be able to expand on that interest. We have folks who are really involved in their communities, and folks who are just, who are at different levels and starting to get involved in their communities and starting to learn how to identify different species of plants and trees. And it's interesting to just see them kind of just expand their viewpoints and to get their understanding of how they're viewing stuff. And I understand it's hard for all of us right now. During the COVID times, we are all experiencing different challenges. And I appreciate them taking the extra time, even after school, to come and join us, because I know it can be taxing, being on screen the whole time. So I tried my best to encourage them to go outside, take those photos for the journals, go do some piece of art around nature. We've been doing a lot of meditation clips, and try to do some focus on wellness as well, to make sure we don't overload and get tired of these experiences. So we try to find our balance. Looks like we have another question. Brandon Hayes says, what would you say to other students who are thinking about joining a program like this? Someone else want to take that?
I would say definitely join. If you're like really, I would say like if you're somebody who like me, who came into it not knowing how to identify a bird or what type of plant this is or something like that, it would be good to join. And honestly, if you just want to continue to explore nature, if you're already interested in it, then definitely join and just continue to grow your knowledge on nature.
I
Yeah,
think.
definitely.
Oh, sorry, Amira, you can go.
Sorry. Especially if you're interested in kind of community and local environments, it's a great way to connect with other people, and it gives you. I feel like there's just benefits, different different aspects of the environment and the environment around us.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, there's at no point in your life will nature not be a part of it. You will just always be part of nature, and you will live in it. So I think there's definitely no harm into jumping something into this, especially when you are still younger and you have more free time and less responsibilities. It's kind of easier to kind of dip your toes in things that you might be interested in. And even if you don't turn out to be interested in it, you can still make a lot of connections with cool people, and that's still valuable as well.
All right. I think we can keep going. I thought I saw 2 more questions at least. How many participants are in the program right now? Just due to capacity and because of the limitations of being online and everything, we're keeping it right now we have 18 participants who are in it. So these are 3 of them. And then we have a couple of others who join in on our sessions and participate in the programs. So that's where we're at right now. In the past, we've had different numbers fluctuate. In the summer, we had to keep it super small because we were meeting in person hybrid model. So we only had 9 participants to make sure we're under all the city and state guidelines. We're very adamant at being safe, and whenever we do in-person programming, making sure everyone has the proper personal protection equipment, making sure that we abide by all of our program guidelines and regulations, keeping 6 feet apart, not sharing materials. And that was a really hard part. Usually in our programs, food is a big part. We would meet in the museum building, we would have lunch together, we would bring food together, we would buy food for the participants. For me personally, that's like just a big way to build community. And that's been hard. I'm not being able to share stuff like that. We would have big potlucks where everyone would bring different family recipes or different foods from their communities or their cultures, and not having that experience, that's tough. And even eating, like when we would meet in the site on the forest preserves, we would have to eat 6 feet apart. So we all moved benches and we all had different spaces. And, that's a big thing that helps build community. And so I definitely missed that. And, sometimes some things, some of the program elements we had to sacrifice to make sure we keep everything safe and to follow all the precautions. And it's just a new reality for this remote learning period. So Eriko Kojima says, I volunteered with Lorena at Calumet. What have you found out about the hopes and dreams of the neighbors, communities members in relation to the forest preserves natural areas? Did you find anyone who participated or wanted to participate in ecological restoration, stewardship, and volunteering? So we haven't been doing, I thought there was another question about have the participants had a chance to engage with their communities yet? Not yet. We're still in our 3rd month. We're going to continue all the way to June. That is our potential, our hopes, that we do have our participants to be able to do outreach in their communities and to be able to share the information and projects that we're working on in their local neighborhoods and areas. Over the summer, we collected a lot of different information from different residents. We didn't do it directly like you normally would. Sometimes we would do internship surveys or have like sites where we can go out and like meet people in the woods. But because of social distancing, we kind of relied on our organizational community partners. We sent them the materials, we sent them the surveys, and asked them to send it to their cohorts, to the people that they work with, to their friends and neighbors. So over the summer, we created the materials, but we weren't able to do the direct surveying that we normally would. We had to rely a lot on our organizational partners and community friends to pass that information along. But for this summer, for this program, we do hope that our participants do get to engage with their friends and neighbors and families and connect them to their natural areas through our projects. I hope that answers things. Is there anything that I missed? Is there questions that didn't get fielded?
I think that's everything. I don't see anything.
I'm looking through. I did see one. It says, "How did I become interested in this?" Much like I had a mentor. I had someone. It took a while. It wasn't until high school where I met a local organizer in my community who was working for a mental justice organization at the time, and she invited me to become part of a community meeting around organizing a skateboarding event of all things, as a way to do a protest for a park that we needed in our community. Long story. I fell in love with it, and I kept going even through my college years. I volunteered until right out of college, I got my first job with them as a community organizer, working on clean air issues and green space issues in the community of Little Village, which I still live in right now. Learned a lot from those amazing organizers. Kim Wasserman was one of my first early mentors. I got to the world, meet people, and then eventually we did shut down coal-fired power plants with a coalition of different organizations and all of our community members. And then eventually after that, we got our new park on the east side of our community, Ita Park 551. And so I've been involved ever since then. I learned how to do conservation work through Friends of the Forest Preserves and Student Conservation Association. They taught me a lot of initial ecology skills. And then eventually I got picked up by the Field Museum. And I've been here for 5 years, being able to work with great young people like these here. It's been fun.
Yeah, you told us the story once. It was really interesting. It was like so cool, and he's like so like chill about it, and I feel like we were just so impressed.
Thank you for that.
It was really funny when he told it because he like kind of framed it in like, oh, she tricked me. She told me it was about a skateboarding competition, but it was actually for environmental justice.
Yeah. You gotta find something that they enjoy, right? That's the kind of approach I take. I just build on interest that these students already have.
That's a really great story. Thank you so much, Ian, Amira, Chance, and Erica for sharing your experiences and teaching us all more about the Chicago Green Ambassadors Program. And most importantly, thank you for being youth environmental leaders at the Field Museum in your community. I learned a lot about this program, and I think everyone else did too. Yeah, so we are going to take a break now, and we'll come back in about 25 minutes to hear from other youth leaders in our region to talk about official city bird advocacy. So everyone, stay tuned, and thank you again, Chicago Green Ambassadors. We'll see you all later.
All right, thank you, everyone. Yeah, keep enjoying Wild Things. It's gonna be fun. There's a lot more cool stuff to check out.